Welcome to Big Red Leads. I'm Big Red, getting you and your business back to the black. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. Something that needs to be discussed. We've touched, we've we've touched on it a little bit. We've ran across the keys on this before, briefly, but I want to go into a little bit more detail with this because today's topic is what we're really getting into. And these are questions that you need to ask yourself if you're pushing towards an endeavor that is going to change your life, your trajectory, your business, your career, all these things. We talked about it before. We're going to bring it up again. Are you playing the long game? Or do you have a check to check mentality? Doesn't mean that you're living check to check, even though the numbers and the percentages of what really goes on in the world, in this sense, in the United States, over, what is it, 76% of people are living check to check. They might be fronting in this sense, like, yeah, they're balling, they're doing this, they have a great car, they have a nice house, all the other stuff. But let's say one thing goes awry and that puts them in financial ruin. In this sense, I want you to think about, and I even hate bringing it up, but it's a reality for a lot of people because a lot of people will understand this. If you have a 401k, I hate a 401k, but that's me, that's my personal thought process behind it. Think about it like this. Think about your life in this sense. Are you investing more into your 401k, which is your life, for the long term game, the long game? This is money or an investment that you are putting aside before you touch or pay anything or buy anything necessity wise or desires. This money is put aside. You don't touch it. You don't even allow yourself the ability to touch it. So, are you doing that for you? Are you making these type of investments? Have you gotten a coach? Have you gotten a mentor? Are you in school? Are you educating yourself in the specific field that you are trying to work in long term for yourself, for your business, your career, whatever? Are you doing that? If you are not, please understand, this is what happens to a lot of young people. When I say young people, I'm talking people in their late 20s, early 30s, when it comes to, let's say, using a 401k. The younger you get to start in your career, we'll use the job model. The younger you are, the faster you should be investing. Why? Because it allows that time to compound on top of the interest plus whatever it is that the company is matching you as far as what you're putting aside for your retirement or that particular investment. What that also says and also speaks to is you're not even concerned about the money because you're not thinking about it. There's not a thought process about it because it's automatically taken out before you even see the check. What type of investment are you making in yourself today? Now, if you're older, even just by 5-6 years, the difference between that 5-6 year window, let's say you stay at this career, this job for 35-40 years. Let's say you stay there this long. That 5 year window, that 5 year gap to your retirement, how much money in that little space of time could be saved? On average, you're looking at anywhere from $45,000 to $350,000 difference. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot of money today, but when it comes to you actually being able to have um, a nest egg for your actual retirement. This is the difference between you living in an assisted living facility or living on the land that you've purchased. And actually, let's say you need a nurse for those later years to come in and check on you, give you your meds and things like that. Especially if your children aren't coming and they're not helping and taking care of you and things of that nature. Once you've reached that certain age, $350,000 would cover that type of expense. Or you could easily be living in a retirement village. What does it look like for you? See, these are the long-term ways of thinking that I'm speaking about when it comes to you and your business. Are you investing in your skill set now? Are you working with newer technologies, newer things that are coming your way that could actually increase the speed of your, let's say, turnover as far as new customers, new clients, things of that nature? Are you investing in these type of things? Are you investing in your own wealth of knowledge when it comes to the basics of this? A lot of people just kind of brush it off and like, oh, I'll figure it out later. 2 years later, that technology is old and outdated. And the entire time you learn none of it. Does that put you ahead or behind? You know the answer to this. We shouldn't have to call this out. What I'm simply saying is at least dip your feet in the water. Like, however your schedule works, learn something in that space because it will help you in the actual learning curve of when things change over again, when things change again. The capacity and the speed of which this particular technology is helping me close more clients on, let's say, on my apparel line. I sell, let's say, let's just throw it out there. Let's say I'm selling $7,000 worth of apparel every month, and I have a staff that handles that particular department of, let's say, 10 people, 10 total people, between designers, actual salespeople who actually do take calls, and people want to put in an order manually. That particular group, a lot of those positions could easily be outdated by the technology that's going to help you move more efficient and actually with more speed. We're not thinking about these things because it doesn't affect you until it affects your bottom line. When you actually start having to pay for these things, you're paying someone to do this particular job. When you have to outsource some of these skills and some of these quote unquote workarounds, when you have to actually start paying for this stuff out of your own pocket, and you're only seeing a percentage of that returning, you are losing money. When you understand that and you start thinking about that, it's like, okay, how can I make this more efficient while still keeping the people who started this with me, who came on board, who are a valuable member of the team? They should be learning as well. How can we use this particular technology that moves a hell of a lot faster than us doing the manual calls every single day? Now, if you have higher price tickets as far as packages and things like that, those are still going to have to be handled manually if we're talking like sales calls and things like that. This changes the game on the short term thinking, and we're not thinking check to check. We're thinking commissions. If you sell this amount of money or this amount of product within this certain amount of time, let's say this month, your commission check could look like this. And if you've been here for an amount of time and your numbers are 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 steady at a certain rate, your closing percentage, let's say 70, 80, 90%, every time you get on a call, you're closing 7 out of 10 calls, 8 out of 10 calls. If you're hitting those type of numbers, I guarantee you, if this is a legitimate business, they're going to invest in you as you have invested in yourself. So that means you're actually studying, you're going through your sales scripts, you're actually pushing the needle when it comes to getting better, and you are not plateauing. See, when a person or a business starts to plateau, it's just even for a long period of time. That business is dying. You are the business. So everything in the mindset and the mentality that you have walking into entrepreneurship, that's you. The doubts, the questioning everything. That's intelligence. But when you start questioning your abilities and you start doubting your abilities and your closing abilities and your capabilities or the capacity of which you can retain information, apply the information, use it to your advantage to push the envelope for your clientele, there's not a value that you can put on that. So that obviously you become more valuable. You have to become more valuable to the market than quote unquote than let's say some technology that comes along that would normally eliminate that person's position. So what are you investing in when it comes to you? Is it mindset work? Is it skill set work? Or are you investing in tools? Tools to make you better. Tools to help you close. Tools that speed up the process so that you can talk to more people. The more people I get in front of, the more people I can sell to. The more people I can close, the more people I can help, the more people I can bring into what we do. Mindset work is one thing. Understanding the long game is another. But playing both and realizing that you need both to function in the space that you are currently working in. How long do you think you can sell herbs online and make money? I mean, unless you're like, I don't know, like Dr. Sabi or somebody like that, but that's very rare. And understand, even with that type of deal, he had other packages that he was selling to quote unquote higher end clients. It was about the well being of people. There was his why. What's your why? What's your how? How do I go about this? How do I go about changing this? How do I go about turning this boat? Like, we're going in this direction. Okay, the mission is still the mission, but now we have to change directions. The bigger you get, the harder it is to turn that, let's say, Titanic around, that cruise liner. If you stay small and nimble, that's one way of looking at you should be way fast. You should be 5 to 10 times faster than any behemoth or public company. Should be. The key word is should. And should is very dangerous. It's like if. There's no if. It's like, okay, we do. This is what we do. So what's going to change for you in that space? Are you still thinking check to check? Well, I'm gonna go buy this jet ski when I get my bonus check. The mentality has to change somewhere along the road. Long-term thinking, long-term goals, long-term successes. Once you start knocking some of those down, whether it be a 5 year, 10 year, 15, 20, 25 year, 30 year window, once you start knocking some of those down, you create a whole nother list of things that you want to accomplish, things that you want to get done, successes that you would like to have, goals and milestones that are actually challenging and not quote unquote you could coast to get to them once you reach a certain level of your expertise and mastery. So understand this mindset has to change. It has to grow, and you have to understand that I'm thinking this way for a reason. Now, this is what gets left out. Long-term thinking, long-term goals, long-term winning. The long game, if you will, requires work. It will eliminate a big chunk of people because most people don't want to work. This is a microwave society now. I want it right now. I want the success right now without the work. It's like a music artist. Look, I'm going to create. I got a hit. I got a smash. Wonderful. That's fantastic. Happy for you. But are you putting any work when it comes to your actual album? And you just put out whatever. Yes, you can live off that one smash for the remainder of your days. Or are you trying to have a plethora of hits? It's up to you. It's up to you. The work will eliminate the majority of people from being that quote unquote one of one. Because it's going to require work. It's going to require real work. Love you all, my friends. Have a great day. Talk soon. This is Big Red signing off. Peace.